Hello there, welcome to the news on Nepal television. I'm Rajina Rai, starting with the top stories. Prime Minister Dahal meets his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi in New Delhi. Talks on areas of bilateral partnership held. Extreme heat in Tarai forces closure of schools in Jhapa, Morang and Sunsari. People urged to maintain caution. Take giant Amazon charged of keeping sensitive information collected from children, penalized $25 million in settlement. And Malaysia chasing the target of Nepal's 111 runs in the third match of Women's T20 5-match series. Welcome back. Now we have the news in detail. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal has held a one-to-one meeting with his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi at the Hyderabad House in New Delhi. The two premiers held talks on diverse areas of the bilateral partnership between Nepal and India. Informing about the meeting between the two premiers, Indian External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bagchi wrote, deepening the bonding of friendship and cooperation in his Twitter handle. A delegations-level talk between Nepal and India followed the meeting between the two leaders. Various agreements are being made between Nepal and India on some significant issues including energy, trade and commerce and of mutual interest. Besides a joint inauguration of Nepal-India cooperation projects are also being done between the two countries. The agreements are being inked in the presence of Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Press statements will be made after the agreements exchange, where PM Dahal will address the joint press conference. Prime Minister Dahal will then attend a banquet luncheon hosted by India's Prime Minister Modi. Prime Minister Dahal is in a 4-day official visit to India at the invitation of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Also today, Prime Minister Dahal is scheduled to call on Indian President Draupadi Murmu and Vice President Jagdeep Dhankhar. Earlier in the morning, Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal laid a wreath at the memorial of Mahatma Gandhi in Delhi. Prime Minister Dahal went to Mahatma Gandhi's Samadhi Sthal in Rajghat this morning and paid tributes to late Gandhi. Prime Minister Dahal also signed the visitors' book there. We still have more updates on the side. Stay with us. Time for a short break. Welcome back. You are on Nepal Television News. Now the remaining updates. Two local levels in Jhapa district have closed community schools due to rising temperature. The temperature has soared in Jhapa district to as high as 40 degrees on Wednesday. Methi Nagar municipality has directed all community, religious and institutional schools to short classes for 2 days on June 1 to 2. Similarly, the schools in Kanchanakabal rural municipality will remain closed for 5 days from June 1 to 5. 3 local levels in Sunsari district have decided to close all public schools within the local levels, citing rising temperature. Decisions to shut down schools was taken after Tarai region started to experience extreme heat since these last 2 days. The municipality mayor Kedar Bhandari said all public schools in Inorwa municipality have been asked to shut for a week from June 1 to 7. Bokraham rural municipality has called for 6 days shutdown, while schools in Ithari sub-metropolitan city have also been asked to close for 2 days on June 1 to 2. The classes missed due to the school closure will be compensated by reducing the period allocated for summer vacation. The temperature has soared in eastern Tarai district since some days, affecting the normal life of people. Now to further development, 14 mountaineers, including 4 foreigners, have today successfully reached atop the Mount Kanchenjunga. The climbers who scaled the third highest peak of the world included Yukta, Furusana, Tez, Mingmar, Dawa, Yangzum, Dima, Pasang Dorji and Dima Dawa. And 4 foreigners from the United States, 2 from Taiwan and 1 from France. Prior to this ascent of the mountain, they successfully scaled the Mount Everest, said the Elite Expedition Company. The Chitwan National Park has arrested 2 persons on the charge of wildlife trafficking. The arrestees have been identified as Raj Chepang and Sundar Praja, both of Kalika municipality living. Chepang was held from Sauraha on May 27 and Praja from his house on May 28, according to the CNP information officer Ganesh Prasad Tiwari. The arrest acted on a tip of 2 country-made pistols were also confiscated from the house of Praja. He said the seized pistols have been submitted to the district police office Chitwan and the CNP has launched investigations. We have international headliners on the side. Stay with us. Time for a short break again. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Now, updates from International Frontline. Amazon agreed on Wednesday to pay a civil penalty of $25 million to settle federal charges that it kept sensitive information collected from children for years, including their precise locations and voice recordings, in violation of a children's online privacy law. It was the latest legal action in an intensifying regulatory efforts to require some of the world's largest tech platforms to better safeguard their younger users. The case brought by the Federal Trade Commission and the Justice Department centers on Amazon's handling of the personal details it collected from children who conversed with Alexa, the company's voice-activated virtual assistants. In a legal complaint filed in U.S. District Court for the Western District of Washington, regulators said the tech giant had kept young people's Alexa voice recordings indefinitely and used the data for business purposes like training its algorithm to understand children, violating the Federal Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. To the more updates, before that, let's have a quick look into the highlights of the site. Now time for sports. Nepal is playing its third of the 5 matches of T20 International Women's Series against the home team in Malaysia. In the match on the way, Malaysia is chasing the target of Nepal's 111 runs. With this, we come to the end of this news bulletin. But before we say goodbye, quick reminders of the headlines once again. Prime Minister Dahal meets his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi in New Delhi. Talks on areas of bilateral partnership held. Extreme heat in Tarai forces closure of schools in Chapa, Morang and Sunsari. People urged to maintain caution. Tech giant Amazon charged of keeping sensitive information collected from children penalized $25 million in settlement. And Malaysia chasing the target of Nepal's 111 runs in the third match of Women's T20 Series of 5 match. Well, this is all we have for this moment. Until our next bulletin, have a good day ahead. Namaste.